It's time to empty those wallets and fill those shelves. That's right, all you minties. This is the Uncanny Omar from Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions. And today, we're doing our monthly budget meeting. We're going to be talking about the collected editions, so Omnis, trade paperbacks, absolute editions, hardcovers, some manga coming out in the month of October of 2022. And, warning, the Omnis are back. And there's a lot of them coming out this month. So let's get started. And welcome back, everybody. Now, before getting started, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. All of that helps with our YouTube algorithm and our channel keep growing. Don't forget to share the video, and thank you to all of those that have shared our videos here at Near Mint Condition. So today we are going to be looking at the collected editions coming out in October. We have 4 weeks, hopefully no more delays, but as always, there could be some. Now, I've gotten a lot of these advance books already from Marvel Comics, so most of these will probably be out. Maybe one might slide into November, and I'll talk about which one when I get to that particular week. In the description of the video, I have put the different weeks, so you can jump around in case you want to come back to this video at a later point. And in the description of the video is also where we have our link to our Patreon and our spread shop. So thanks to all of you that are on our Patreon and our spread shop. You've bought t-shirts and stickers. All that does help support the channel. And speaking of Patreon, this Saturday, so tomorrow, October 1st, we're doing a huge giveaway. Kicks off at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on our Patreon, and then 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this very YouTube channel. So it's our way of paying it back to all you wonderful folks. We're doing huge giveaways, lots of Omnis, Epic Collections, trade paperbacks, some manga, and a bunch of gift cards. So that is on October 1st at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Patreon and 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. And if you're looking for my top 10, the top 10 was hard this time because, oh my gosh, there's a lot of good books coming out. But if you're looking for that, that will come out on Sunday. So let's go ahead and get started with the week of October 4th. And huge thank you to Aaron Cobbs for putting the Marvel list and DC list together. Great friend of mine. Okay, so for Marvel Comics, we are kicking it off with Bloodstone and the Legion of Monsters trade paperback. And right around this time, yeah, because we're going to have the Werewolf by Night show coming out. Well, I guess it's a one-shot or one-off TV special that's coming out on Disney+. This collects Legion of Monsters 1 through 4, Astonishing Tales Boom Boom, and Elsa #1. And Marvel Presents 1 and 2, material from Marvel Assistant Size Spectacular 2, Girls Comics 2, and Rampaging Hulk 1 through 6 and number 8. And then we have Star Wars Legends Epic Collection, The New Republic, a book that was supposed to come out in September, but it got pushed back into October, it looks like. So this collects a lot of the Crimson Empire, the first series, the second series, Council of Blood miniseries, Crimson Empire 3, Empire Lost, and I think that's what Crimson Empire 3 is called. And Council of Blood is Empire or Crimson Empire 2. Dark Horse Extras 21 through 24, and Dark Horse Presents #1. So it's more of that Dark Horse era of Star Wars. We are getting a new printing of the Avengers Epic Collection, the Collection Obsession. How are you a fan of collected editions and not have this in your library? I don't know. So collecting issues 334 to 344, annual number 20, Death Trap the Vault, Venom, and material from Incredible Hulk, annual 17, Namor the Submariner #1, annual number 1 rather, Iron Man, annual number 12, and Avengers West Coast, annual number 6. So this is the one that's got a lot of Bob Harris, a lot of Andy Kubert in there, a lot of Roy Thomas, Danny Fingeroth, and Fabian Nicieza. So it's like that time of Avengers when they were trying to find their new writer. Lots of artwork in there, though, by Steve Epting, Andy Kubert, and Ron Lim. And Wakanda, World of Black Panther Omnibus. Now, you saw my overview or my advanced look at the Ta-Nehisi Coates Black Panther. I wanted to do that one first and then look at the World of Black Panther. So there are 2 covers available, and both of them will be available on the same day. And this is the one that collects all the little mini-series that were happening at the time that Ta-Nehisi Coates was writing Black Panther. It collects a bunch of series that spun off of that, like Shuri, and then Black Panther and the Agents of Wakanda, which they never collected the second half of that, and that was a lot of fun. So that one comes out with both covers on the very same day. And we also have the Mighty Marvel Masterworks, both covers coming out, the Black Panther Volume 1, The Claws of the Panther. Keep an eye on the channel because we're doing a family review of X-Men number 2, and the next one we'll do is Black Panther Volume 1. So this collects all the early appearances through the Fantastic Four, Captain America, and Avengers of Black Panther. So you don't really have any Black Panther ongoing series in this particular collection. Amazing Spider-Man by Wells and Romita Jr. Volume 1, World Without Love. So this is the new series relaunched in 2022 this year by Zeb Wells and John Romita Jr., and this collects the first 5 issues of that series. Pretty interesting read so far. And Sabretooth, the Adversary. Finally, I got around to reading this. Collecting the 5-issue miniseries. Where's he been since he went into the pit? Right? And I do those advanced overviews of the trade paperbacks like the Epics or even the Masterworks sometimes every Tuesday on the channel. It usually comes out about 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Black Panther Legends. So we are going to get a Black Panther Legends book. And this collects issues 1 through 4 and then material from Black Panther, or the Shuri Black Panther novel. She-Hulk has a new series by Rainbow Rowell, and the very first volume comes out that week, issues 1 through 5, and that one is called Jen Again. Roge Antonio is the artist on that. And from the world of DC Comics, we are finally getting a reprint of American Vampire Omnibus Volume 1. So this has got the same content as the original printing, collecting American Vampire 1 through 27, Survival of the Fittest 1 through 6, and Lord of Nightmares 1 through 5. If you didn't pick it up, now is your chance to pick it up because, well, the first one, I just remember it went quick. I don't know why. I don't know if people were just looking for something with Stephen King. And usually with Stephen King's property, they don't know how long some of these rights will stay. But maybe that's why they decided to, or maybe that's why it sold out so quick. But so remember that this time around. We are also getting Trial of the Amazons. I love that cover by Jim Chung. No longer Jimmy Chung. And this has a lot of artwork by Joelle Jones. I think some of it was controversial because there was Lightbox being used. I don't know. I also don't know how long it and the amount of stress that the artists are on to keep a monthly series. But this collects that particular event at $29.99. And it has 208 pages, and this is a hardcover. I love that cover. Batman The Long Halloween, the Haunted Night Deluxe Edition. So this is the one-shots that that predates The Long Halloween. It has nothing to do with Long Halloween outside of the creators that are involved. So it collects Legends of the Dark Knight Halloween Special number 1, Madness, A Legend of the Dark Knight Halloween Special, and Ghost, The Legends of the Dark Knight number 1. So this one is 200 pages at $49.99. I assume it will also not have a dust jacket like the rest of the hardcovers that have come out from that era, including the Catwoman When in Rome, if you haven't picked those up. And Absolute Doomsday Clock finally coming out. And this collects the 12-issue, I'm going to call it a maxi series. Some people call it a mini series. I say maxi series. That's what I was taught in the 80s. And that's what I'm passing along to you all. By Jeff Johns and Gary Frank, all 12 issues included in here. I'm not sure on the extras that are going to be in here, but it is 496 pages, $125, and it is an absolute edition. So it's one of those big oversized books. If you don't know the differences, I did do a video on the different type of collected editions. Click on the channel. We also have beginner's guide videos too. Hardware Season 1 by Brandon Thomas and Dennis Cowan. Golly, he is back. That cover is freaking awesome. Okay, so this one is the new Hardware season. So Milestone is back, and this collects all 5 of the first 6 issues of Hardware and the Infinite Edition number 0. Why did I have a hard time reading Infinite Edition? Probably because of DC and Infinity. That's why. But no, they always do Crisis on Infinite Earths, right? And Infinite Crisis. It's Marvel that does the Infinity. Forgive me. I don't know what the heck I'm rambling on about. From the world of manga, we have Be Afraid of Inuki Kanako. That reminds me of the artwork and presence, but this is from the Mind of Japan's Queen of Horror manga comes a short story collection, so that is up my alley. That one's by Kodansha. Free Life Fantasy Online Immortal Princess. I love these titles. And my wife and I were going through this, like, just reading off some of the titles of these upcoming books, and my goodness, just some of them are so long. I don't even know how people ask for these at bookstores. But that one is coming out. That one is from 7 Seas Entertainment. Night of the Living Cat. How could I not add that on the list with my daughters, both of them being just cat fans, and that is an adorable cat picture. That one is by 7 Seas Entertainment and written by Makoto Fukami, and Seigo Toikiya is the artist on that book. Executioner and Her Way of Life. This is a volume 1 of this series. This one here is published by Yen Press. Embrace Your Size, My Own Body Positivity. You go, girl. That's right. You be positive no matter what. This is by Yen Press. It is written and drawn by Hara, and it's a love letter to those who dream of being fashionable but consider their weight an obstacle. All right. Man, there is a manga out there for everybody. Imaginary Volume 1. This is published by 7 Seas Entertainment. I love that cover. Kind of reminds me of a 90s sitcom or 90s anime. Young ladies don't play fighting games. That's not true at all. My daughters play fighting games. We go through the Neo Geo classics like King of Fighters 96 because they're like their old man. I love King of Fighters 96. That was my favorite. And Street Fighter 3. Third Strike was my favorite. Although Championship Edition was a solid too. But interesting title. All right, from other publishers, we have Joe Hill Rain. That is a hardcover coming out from Image Comics, and this one is drawn by Zoe Thorogood. And I love that cover. That is a beautiful cover. We're also going to get Little Monsters trade paperback. This one, of course, by Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen, reuniting from Ascender and Descender. And the less I know about that series, the better off, because that's how I love going in completely blind sometimes. Sweet Paprika is getting a volume 2. This is a series that has a lot of adult content. Collecting issues 7 through 12. This is all by Mirka Andolfo. We reviewed the first issue on this channel, my wife and I. We really enjoyed it. Robert Kirkman's Oblivion Song is back, and he's joined by Annalisa Leoni. This is the volume 3, collecting issues 25 through 36 of that series. And finally, Saga is back in collected editions format with issues 55 through 60 in volume 10. No talk of hardcovers yet, but then again, it's Saga, so you may have to wait a little while because, how do I put this? They take their time, and that's okay. It's Brian K. Bonzo. The Wizard King Trilogy box set from Dark Horse is coming out, and this is all in trade paperback format. I don't know what this is. I don't know if anybody has read this series, if it's based on a book series, but I love those covers. They look freaking awesome. And Transformers Beast Wars Volume 1 has been pushed, or Volume 3 rather, has been pushed back to this week, collecting Beast Wars issues 13 through 17 and annual 2022. The Best of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Volume 2 is coming out. This is the softcover collection collecting the IDW era of the, almost said Transformers. Can't believe that era is almost over. Of Ninja Turtles from IDW. G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero 40th Anniversary Special Deluxe Edition. $39.99. Collecting issues like the Hot Potato issue, issue 24, issue 26, that's the Snake Eyes Origin, issue number 50, issue number 86. Is that the Not Fade Away? But anyway, this collection has some of the best stories from Larry Hama, and if you have not read his run on G.I. Joe, you're missing out. And I don't blame you for not being able to read it, because all the classic trade paperbacks that are out of print, the hardcovers went out of print and they discontinued them. So hopefully one day we will get these in beautiful hardcover collections, because it rightly deserves to be collected in a nice, beautiful format. Alcatoe and Turnip Child, and this is published by No Brow Flying Eye Books. Looks like a kid's book, but then again, I've been fooled before. Animorphs Volume 3, The Encounter. Blade Runner Origins trade paperback Volume 3. This one is published by Titan Comics. They're the ones that have been publishing the Blade Runner books. And I did an overview of the Blade Runner, what was it, the black and white edition, and then the box set. Celery Stalks, Volume 2. I don't know what this is, but this is published by Leif Gleason. I really like the colors on the cover. Written and drawn by Patrick Brooks. And George R.R. Martin, Clash of Kings, Volume 4 is coming out. And it looks like the publisher is Bantam Spectra. I was trying to figure out who the publisher was of these comics that are based on his stories or his novels. And one time it was Random House, but now it's Bantam Spectra that are publishing these books. To this day, they're still publishing them. I'm Still Alive graphic novel coming out. And that one is published by Boom Studios. This is a hardcover. And it is written by Roberto Saviano and drawn by Asaf Hanuka. So this is apparently from the best-selling author of Gamora. Not to be confused with Gamora from Marvel Comics. Humanoids is releasing the latest Johto Library edition. And that is the Saga of Alandor, Diasomante. Oh my gosh, that's going to be a big book because in here you're going to, by the way, even if you've never heard of the Jodorowsky library, you need to just check it out because there are some awesome talent in here. You have the artwork of Jerome Pena in here, J.H. Williams III, and Jean-Claude Gall. And that was right before he passed away. So, oh man, that is a beautiful library edition. I've done an overview of the first one. Maybe I'll do a Humanoids overview and talk about some of those in there. We're also going to get Judge Dredd Legends of Law. So this is published by Rebellion 2000 AD. John Wagner, Alan Grant, Anthony Williams, and John Higgins, and Brett Anderson. Man, it's a 13-issue series published by DC Comics and written by Judge Dredd co-creator John Wagner and Alan Grant. Oh my gosh, it was published by DC? Jimmy Palmiotti's in there too. It's a hell of a talent roster. Nancy Drew, Omnibus, Volume 1. And I think this was originally supposed to come out in the summer, but this is published by Dynamite. So, Nancy Drew, mysteries, October, get that spooky feeling. Yeah, sure. Seamus, the famous Eternity Run. I'm not sure why I said that with a country accent, probably because I knew somebody named Seamus. But this is by Christopher Ring. It looks like a kid's book, and it looks like a continuation of a previous title, too. Slash Them All. Wow, what a title. What a cover. This is published by Fantagraphics. Antoine Maillard is the artist and writer on this. I really like the color. It looks like an anime, I know, but I don't think it's supposed to be. Squad Up, hardcover edition, coming out from Clarion Books. And we're also getting Thieves graphic novel. So this one here is published by Nobrow. And Victory Stand, Raising My Fist for Justice, hardcover, of course, based on the true story. Published by Norton Young Readers. Written by Tommy Smith and Derek Barnes, and drawn by, apologies, Dawood Anya Wow. So all taking place in 1968. And Black Mass Rising, coming out in graphic novel format that week, as well as the Bobby Digital and Pit of Snakes, but that one is coming out in hardcover format. Dragon Kingdom of Renly, Volume 8, Shattered Shore. Now, that one comes out in hardcover format, and it comes out in graphic novel format. Dune, the official movie graphic novel, is coming out that week. Fishhead, The Art of Ray Troll, coming out in hardcover format. Follow Me Into Darkness. And we're also getting the Graven Eye graphic novel to wrap up that week. The week of October 11th for Marvel Comics, we're kicking it off with Venom Epic Collection, Carnage Unleashed. This one retails for $44.99 and collects Spider-Man The Arachnus Project number 6, Web of Spider-Man 118 to 119, Spider-Man 52 to 53, Separation Anxiety 1 through 4, Venom Carnage Unleashed 1 through 4, Sinner Takes All 1 through 4, the A stories, and number 5, and Uncanny Origins number 7, and the Venom subplot pages. So that is a book that has 496 pages. Whereas you're going to get the Moon Girl Endangered Species. This is a graphic novel size, so it's a smaller size book. collecting Miles Morales and Moon Girl #1, Avengers and Moon Girl 1, X-Men and Moon Girl 1, and I think that's it. Yeah, those 3 issues, 112 pages, $15.99. Back to print is Wolverine Back to the Basics, or Back to Basics rather. This is Volume 2, collecting issues 17 through 30 of the 1988 series, the Wolverine Nick Fury Scorpio Connection, and the Jungle Adventure, which if you've not read, Walter Simonson, Mike Mignola, Apocalypse, Wolverine in the Jungle, say no more. Marvel vs. Shuri graphic novel, $9.99, 120 pages, just collecting stories throughout the years at Marvel for Shuri, kind of capturing the essence of who she is. Black Panther by Ta-Nehisi Coates, Omnibus. Now, this is the Michael Cho cover, comes out this week. The other cover will be released, I believe, in the following week. Miss Marvel, Generations. So, this is written by G. Willow Wilson, and I believe she's joined by Nico Leone for this. But this has the Miss Marvel series 36 through 38, Generations, Miss Marvel, and Miss Marvel, the Carol Danvers Miss Marvel, and Marvel Team Up 1 through 6, the 2019 series. This is the smaller scale books, the graphic novel size books, and $13.99 for 232 pages. Excalibur by Teenie Howard Volume 2 is coming out in hardcover format, collecting the remaining issues of Excalibur before it became, what was it called? Oh my gosh, Knights of X, I think it was called. Collecting issues 16 through 26, Marcos Toe being the artist. Say what you will, whether you love or hate that series, that creative team has been on that book for 26 issues. That's 2 years. And I know it's crazy to think about. That's almost unheard of these days, which is sad. Black Panther, The Early Years, the Buckler cover is available that day. And this is the classic early stuff. Collecting Fantastic Four 52 and 53, his first appearance. 56 and 119, material from 54. Tales of Suspense 97 through 99. Captain America 100. Avengers 52, 62, 73 to 74. 77 to 79. 87, 112, 126. Daredevil 52. 69, Annual number 4. Astonishing Tales 6 through 7. Marvel Team Up number 20. And Jungle Action 6 through 24. That Jungle Action, man. That stuff by Don McGregor, if you've not read it, oh, it's so good. So, this was solicited as a Volume 1, and now it's just the early years. And excellent New Blood, New World by Peter Milligan and Mike Allred. This is a series that is not in the Omnibus, and it is Giant Size Ecstatics number 1 and Excellent 1 through 5. So, creative team coming back together to write more stories about these loopy, crazy characters. From DC Comics, we kick it off with DC Horror Presents Soul Plumber. And this one, I remember when the catalog was being filled, this one was out. It was just such an interesting series by Ben Kissel and PJ Holden. Wonder Woman Evolution by Stephanie Nicole Phillips and Mike Hawthorne doing the, I'm not sure why I said Hawthorne. Hawthorne doing the artwork, collecting the 8-issue series. And here is American Vampire Omnibus Volume 2. And again, if you missed Volume 1, it is reprinted the first week. This one's $125, 928 pages, and wrapping up the series of American Vampire. This is the one that's based on Stephen King, and I think Stephen King helped oversee the project at first, like the first 6 issues. And then Scott Snyder just did his own thing because it's Scott Snyder. But this collects American Vampire 28 through 34, The Long Road to Hell one-shot, the Anthology 1 and 2, Second Cycle 1 through 11, and 1976 1 through 10. Teen Titans Academy Volume 2, Exit Wounds. This one has 240 pages, retailing for $29.99, collecting issues 6 through 12. That's a lot of pages for just 6 issues. They must have been oversized. From the world of manga, we are kicking it off with the Akira Art of Wall box set. Atom Beginning. Oh my gosh. This top 10 list is going to be hard. I just read that and it was awesome. That one's being published by Titan. So Titan is getting into the manga game. And it was a beautiful love letter to Tezuka. Awaken Volume 1 is coming out. And that one is printed by Seven Seas Entertainment. And we're also going to get Black and White Tough Love at the Office Volume 1. And that one is also Seven Seas is just pumping these out. Cat Massage Therapy Volume 3. Of course, I had to add it in here. Formerly Fallen Daughter of Duke Volume 1. That one is published by Tokyo Pop. I love Tokyo Pop is still in the game. They were huge at one time. And Gantz Omnibus Volume 10. So this collects volumes 28 through 30 in big oversized format, 628 pages. And by big oversized format, I'm sorry, I don't mean taller, just thicker. 628 pages for $24.99. That is a series I would love to see in deluxe edition. I do need to make that video. And Ghost in the Shell Human Algorithm. This is the new Ghost in the Shell series that is published by Kodansha. It is supposed to have, I think Masamune Shiro is just overseeing it. I don't think he's actually writing it because he does have a co-writer, and that is Funichi Fujisaku, and Yuki Yoshimoto is the artist on the book. I do love that world, though. Girl from the Other Side, Volume 2. I did an overview of the first deluxe edition, and it was one of my favorite releases this year. It's beautiful, and there's only going to be 3 of them. From the world of Image Comics, we have Closet. And this is a trade paperback by James Tynion, Chris O'Halloran, and Gavin Fulton. And collects the first 3 issues. I don't know what this... That looks awesome and creepy. May have to pick that up. Farmhand, Volume 4. This is such a fun series. I don't hear enough people talk about it. I've done a Hidden Gems talking about the series. But this is Rob Giori, who was the artist on Chew. So, and I don't hear enough people talk about the follow-up to Chew, too. I haven't read it, so I don't know if it's any good. I know Farmhand is good. I really enjoyed that. Reckless, the 3rd book, I believe, is coming. This is the 3rd book? This is Follow Me Down by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. These are original graphic novels. That's the way they want to do them instead of single issues. I love that they've taken this European format and just made it their own thing. Hell Cop! What kind of title is Hell Cop? Volume 2. Says the guy that reads manga. By Brian Haberlin, who also does the artwork in there. I love that cover. That is a badass cover. And Sea Serpent's Hair. Oh, I'm sorry. Sea Serpent's Heir. Book 1. Pirate's Daughter. I love that cover. Pablo Tunica. I'm not familiar with his work. He looks like... It reminds me of the name of the guy that did some of the artwork in Ninja Turtles, I think, for the IDW stuff. But Marguerite Scott, she's the one that did Guardians of the Galaxy, and she also did Star Wars Resistance. Love that cover. Man, that is an awesome cover. Slumber Volume 1, this one written by Tyler Burton Smith and drawn by Vanessa Cardinali. And Hack and Slash Deluxe Edition, the crossovers. So collecting Hack and Slash versus Vampirella, the 5-issue mini versus Ava 5-issue mini, and versus Chaos. I believe that's Evil Ernie in the background. So, yeah, that's... I thought there were going to be more volumes than... I don't know. For some reason, I thought there were going to be about 4 volumes before we got that, but I think we've only gotten 2 so far. From Dark Horse Comics, we have the Black Hammer. This is the Omnibus Edition. Volume 1. I'll be doing an overview of these, by the way. This collects issues of Black Hammer 1 through 13 and Giant Size Annual number 1. And Aztec is finally coming out. This was a Kickstarter by Doug Mensch. This is the complete collection. It's a beautiful hardcover, $79.99, 528 pages, collecting Aztec Ace 1 through 15. And Goldfish, this is the Brian Michael Bendis Jinx World comic, now coming back out from Dark Horse, because that's where he's publishing his stuff. It collects Goldfish Act, Joker, King, Queen, and Jack. BPRD Omnibus Volume 1. They are cranking these Omnis out. This collects The Hollow Earth and Other Stories, Soul of Venice and Other Stories, and The Plague of Frogs. This is one that I've been wanting to read by Daniel Friedman. It is called Kali. And it's just an original graphic novel, 176 pages. I just got it in from them, and it's oversized. The artwork is by Robert Sameline, and I don't know what it's about. I love going in completely blind, and I just dig that cover. Joe Golem. This was supposed to come out Last month, it did hit some direct market. The direct market and book market for Dark Horse right now is just all over the place, and I think that's why they're going exclusively with PRH to kind of get those issues, I don't want to say resolved, but, take care of those issues. Now, this is Mike Mignola and Christopher Golden, and just teaming up with this occult detective. So you got the colors in here by Dave Stewart. So I'm in there, man. That's awesome. I've been wanting to read that for a while now. Virtually Yours, and this is an original graphic novel about the internet. IDW has G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero Saturday Morning Adventures. That brings back memories, just saying that. Been getting the classified, G.I. Joe classified. I did not kickstart the His Tank, though. Just sticking to the figures, but brings back a lot of memories. I love G.I. Joe. That was such a fun time in my childhood. From Boom Studios, we have Something Is Killing the Children, Volume 5 coming out, finally. Means we're getting closer, or at least a little bit closer, to another hardcover collection. Just beyond the original graphic novel gift set, this collects trade paperbacks 1 through 4. Magic the Gathering hardcover Volume 2. And this, I love that cover. This is by Jed McKay. That's right. Ig Guara and Matteo Scalera, who did Black Science. You got a hell of a lineup there. Buffy, the Last Vampire Slayer. Epic title, epic cover. I love the font here. And, I mean, yes, we've had Old Man Logan, Old Lady Laura, Old Lady Harley, I think. I don't care. I love those stories, these possible futures. And Old Man Logan is not even the one that started it. Obviously, it was Dark Knight, like the Dark Knight Returns. Brothers Flick, Impossible Doors trade paperback. This is from Vault Comics. Collected Topi. This is Volume 8 of the Collected Topi. This is being published now by Magnetic Press. I wanted to say that Titan Comics, I thought, had the right to those. Lady Death Omnibus. Now, this is a hardcover, and it was one that had a lot of issues at the port. I think one of my viewers, I know, kickstarted it. I'm talking about the Kickstarter here, or Indiegogo, whatever the crowdfunding it was. And apparently, like, every single copy got damaged, so they have to reprint it again, and I think finally those are being published out. So, originally published by Chaos, Lady Death, and now it's being published by Coffin. I don't know if that's Brian Pulido's own thing or not, but obviously I was a fan of Lady Death for the wrong reasons, or maybe the right reasons at that age. But it was a lot of fun. Evil Ernie and Purgatory, all that stuff. Lore Olympus. Now, Lore Olympus by Del Rey is being published in graphic novel format and in hardcover format. I love when they do that. The Wrong Earth one-shots. My wife and I love that series so much, and this is a series of one-shots that take place in both of these worlds. So, hell yes. Beta Light is coming out, and this is in graphic novel format, published by Wes Margin, as well as First There Was Chaos. And that's published by Uncivilized Books. This is a hardcover. We're also going to get the Hard Ears and Night Eaters, She Eats at Night. And to wrap up that week, Telling Stories, classic comic art of Frank Frazetta, deluxe edition hardcover. Now, at this moment, here's a quick word from our sponsor overseas. If you live in Europe and are interested in buying and pre-ordering Omnis, then you should definitely check out Walt's Comic Shop in Berlin, Germany. They have the cheapest pre-order prices for Marvel and DC books within the EU, flat rate shipping of €12 for all EU countries, bulletproof packaging, and all emails will be answered within 24 hours. They offer a huge selection of out-of-print books. Just head over to waltzcomicshop.com for more great deals and rare titles. And for a limited time, you can use the code Near Mint Condition, all one word at the checkout, to get free shipping for all EU countries with your first order of over €40. Walt's Comic Shop, your reliable source for Omnis and premium collected editions in Europe. The week of October 18th from Marvel Comics. Boy, we got a lot. Illuminati trade paperback. This is the classic series from the New Avengers, created by Brian Michael Bendis. It does collect the one-shot and then the miniseries, the 5-issue miniseries. And that is coming back in stock. I wonder if that has something to do with one of the MCU movies. Trials of X, Volume 1. Reign of X, Volume 15 was renamed to Trials of X number 1, collecting the Trial of Magneto 1 and 2, Sword number 7, New Mutants 20 and 21, and Marauders number 23. Fantastic Four Epic Collection, The Mystery of the Black Panther, coming back out to print. Collecting issues 52 through 67, annuals 4 through 5, and Nob Brand Ek and 5. Hulk vs. Thor, Banner of War. This is the Donny Cates crossover between the two series that he's writing. Hulk vs. Thor, Banner of War, Alpha number 1, Thor 25 and 26, and Hulk 7 through 8. Black Panther by Ta-Nehisi Coates. This is where you're going to find the Brian Stelfreeze cover. And Avengers by Jason Aaron, Volume 3. $39.99, collecting issues 22 through 30. That man is still writing that series. I heard he was leaving the book, though. I don't know. I don't know if that's enough for 2 Omnis or one big Omni. And then Black Panther, The Early Years Omnibus. This is where you're going to find the Azad Ribic cover. Savage Sword of Conan, the original Marvel years. Both covers available on the same day. Omnibus Volume 8. And this is the final one by Marvel Comics. Because of the copyrights, I believe Titans is going to work on it. But we're not sure what Titan is exactly going to do. Collecting Savage Sword of Conan 102 to 116 and Marvel Super Special number 35. Sad day, but at least Conan will continue at another publisher. Young Avengers by Heinberg and Chung. Omnibus, this is $125, 1,080 pages, collecting Young Avengers 1 through 12, Young Avengers Special number 1, Avengers Children's Crusade 1 through 9, Avengers The Children's Crusade, Young Avengers, and materials from Uncanny X-Men 526. I've had that one for a couple of weeks now. I'm surprised it's that late into October, but it is coming out. Incredible Hulk Epic Collection, and now The Wolverine. So we are talking about issues 179 to 200 of an Incredible Hulk, and annual number 5. No Wolvie on the cover. I gotta give Marvel props for that. Even though the title is "And Now the Wolverine," no Wolverine on the cover. Dark Ages by Tom Taylor and Iban Coello, who Iban Coello's artwork is just blowing me away. It's some of the best art I've seen in a long time. I'm a big fan of his art. So it's good to see him on a big book like this. I haven't heard enough people talk about this, though. And I really enjoyed Tom Taylor. Star Wars Darth Vader by Greg Pak, Volume 4, Crimson Reign. Now Darth Vader's joining the Crimson Reign era. And to wrap up that week for Marvel, we have Miracle Man by Gaiman and Buckingham, Book 1. I really hope they continue and give us an omnibus of this era. So this collects Miracle Man 17 to 22, but it's the new colors, I believe, because they were rebranded as Miracle Man by Gaiman and Buckingham, issues 1 through 6. And then it also contains material from Total Eclipse number 4. From the world of DC Comics, we have the Fellspire Chronicles, Book 1. And this is interesting because one of my top books last year was The Last God. Every year I do my favorite collected edition and then my favorite reads. And one of my favorite reads was The Last God. It was phenomenal. And I want to say that this is the exact same thing. It's the exact same content. It's even the exact same cover, but they're renaming it to the Fellspire the Fellspire Chronicles Book 1. It is Philip Kennedy Johnson, Riccardo Federici. Same page count, 448 pages. The dimensions look like they're standard size dimensions of this book. Yeah, I think, these are standard size dimensions. So maybe they're hoping this will sell better and give us a volume 2? I don't know. Interesting that they're rebranding it in less than a year, because the last one came out in November. Wonder Woman by George Paez, Omnibus Volume 1. The 2022 edition, $100, 640 pages. Batman Hush 20th Anniversary Edition. And get this, I just heard from a couple of my viewers last month that apparently they're adding a couple more pages that have never been published before, with Jim Lee and Jeff Loeb working on it. I don't know if that's a couple more pages as in 2 or 3 or 1.5. I don't know. Man, they are milking it. I love it. I actually like this story. 376 pages, $49.99. Refrigerator Full of Heads. This is part of the Hill House Comics, and I'm sure it's very tongue-in-cheek with the fact, Green Lantern, the whole Gail Simone movement. But yes, Refrigerator Full of Heads. Aquaman, Green Arrow, Deep Target, Brandon Thomas, and Ronan Cliquette. I don't know what this is. This must be a miniseries? Yeah, Deep Target 1 through 7. New Teen Titans Omnibus Volume 1, the 2022 edition. So this collects everything from their debut, and DC Comics presents number 26. And then you also have the first 16 issues. So hopefully they will continue those. And in good time, too. Doom Patrol by Rachel Pollack. And this collects her run on Doom Patrol. So issues 64 and up. Black Adam box set. So much like the Batman box set when that movie was coming out, DC is also releasing a Black Adam box set. A lot of stuff in here by Jeff Johns. And there's the Black Adam Rise and Fall of an Empire, the Black Rain, and then Shazam. So $51. I love that price point. That's the same price point that the Batman box set was. 696 pages of material. There's also the release of Green Lantern Alliance. Oh man, I swear this top 10 list is so freaking hard. Because I definitely would have added this from the world of manga. I know it's not manga because it's an art book. I don't care. The Hidetaka Tenjin's artistry of Macross. And it's pretty much the Tenjin's illustrations from the eras of the Super Dimensional Fortress Macross. And then you also have the Flashback 2012 in there. And I know this probably means nothing to people that don't know what I'm talking about, but if you grew up in Latin America and in the United States and were fans of Robotech and then later on discovered this world of Macross, this has Macross 7, Macross Plus, Macross 2, Macross 0, and the Macross TV series. It's a beautiful, it looks like a big, beautiful art book by Udon. That would have been number 11. Actually, there's a lot of number 11s on there, just in case you watch my top 10s. We're also getting Candy and Cigarettes, Volume 1, believe it or not. Back in my day, I was just telling my brothers about this, if they remember buying, or not buying, but seeing the cigarette machines at the bowling alley. So, much like candy, you could buy cigarettes at a vending machine. I don't know if that has anything to do with candy and cigarettes. Cardcaptor Sakura Clear Card, Volume 12. Man, that series is still going. I was hoping they'd be done with it, so they could go back and work on X. I love that series. Devil is a Part-Timer, Volume 19. That will always remind me of Tina. Tina, my buddy TikTok Tina, loves that series. And yeah, we watched like the first season together. And yeah, it was a pretty funny series. Drip Drip. I don't know what this is. This is published by Viz. And that is a creepy looking cover. So it is by Paru Itagaki. I may have to check that out. That looks creepy as hell. Gay Who Turned Kaiju. This is published by Yen Press. This is about a young man who was bullied for being gay, and he wishes he could be somebody else, but he turns into a giant kaiju, or maybe just his head is kaiju. These titles are so ridiculous. I love them. Go Go Loser Ranger. Of course I had to add that on here. Go Go Loser Ranger. I have no idea what that is. The Bibliotech Guide to Anime. This is coming out in hardcover format. Maid I Hired recently is Mysterious, Volume 4. This is published by Yen Press. And I remember in the early aughts, there was a huge influx of just made manga and made anime. And a lot of them made it over here. Made it. Only dad joke you'll hear today, I promise. Or from this channel anyway. But, I mean, I'm not hating on it. I loved Mahoromatic and Emma. Huge fan of Emma. There were a couple of other ones that made May, I think. Because Chobits could be... But it seemed to have slowed down, even though there's still some Maid series out there. And I think there's Maid characters in, like, video games like Persona. But I just remember every other title had, like, a Maid in it. Or a Maid... It was, it was just centered around a Maid. So... Pretty cool that they're still releasing those types of books. My Hero Academia box set. This collects volumes 1 through 20. PTSD Radio. This is one that a lot of my viewers have asked me if I've read. And this is volume 1 published by Kodansha. And I haven't read it. But that cover, holy crap, that's creepy. Masaki Nakayama is the creator behind this. So I'm going to have to check this out. I heard it was great. And it's like, I guess for fans of things like anthologies by Junji Ito, but absolutely checking it out. From Image Comics, we have Gunning for Ramirez. This is Volume 2, and this collects issues 7 through 12 by Nicholas Petrimax, is the artist and the writer on that title. And we're also getting New Masters, and I love that cover there. I say that a lot about these books, but honestly, I buy a lot of these books based on the covers. This is by Shobo Cocker, and this collects issues 1 through 6 of that series. And Radiant Black, Volume 3, a massive verse book. So collecting issues 13 through 18. I'm pretty sure that will eventually get some kind of oversized hardcover format just because of the popularity of the book. And Time Squared, Volume 1, or the complete collection, Omnibus, finally coming out that day from Howard Chaykin. That has been, I think, pushed back since like March, I want to say. From Dark Horse Comics, we have Giants Volume 2, Ghosts of Winter. It's an original graphic novel written by Carlos Perez Valderrama and drawn by Miguel Valderrama. Not sure they're cousins, brothers, but I don't want to make assumptions. No. We have Demons, Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo. Book is finally coming out. That's been on my radar, and I hope it comes out just in time for the Halloween season. Hellboy, The Silver Lantern Club. That has been released in direct market already, collecting the 5-issue miniseries, as well as the Hellboy Bones of Giants. That is the 4-issue miniseries, collected in hardcover format. And I've done an overview of them on the channel if you want to check it out. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Compendium Volume 1. And this is being published by IDW, as well as the Bloom County Library. So, Book 1. This is being released in paperback edition. All new Firefly Gospel According to Jane is being released in hardcover format from Boom Studios, as well as Claw Hardcover Volume 4. And that one right there is being released by Magnetic Press. We're also going to get the Maverick and Lunatics Icons of Underground Comics, published by Fantagraphics. And Agretsuko Out of Office. I was going to put this with a manga, but this is written by Brenda Hickey and drawn by Brenda Hickey and published by Oni Press. So maybe I still should have. But anyway, I'm putting it here. Bjorn, Volume 1, The Littlest Viking Saga, coming out in trade paperback format. If you've not read this and you have kids, absolutely check this out. This is written and drawn by Ben Bender, who is now completely focusing on this book. It's a lot of fun. It's like Calvin and Hobbes. It's like Bone, and it's all about a little Viking. And there's a Kickstarter for Volume 2 already. This is the trade paperback edition. This is published by Red 5 Comics. Even though it's not in my top 10, this would have been 12 for sure. I think it's a great series. Then we're also going to get the Bipolar Bear and Terrible, Horrible, No Good Health Insurance. Oh, such a sad title and such a sad bear. Black Beacon trade paperback is coming out by Heavy Metal Magazine. And Call of Duty Vanguard hardcover edition coming out. And this is being published by Activision Publishing, so I guess they're doing their own publishing. This is $19.99. Cat Ninja hardcover and graphic novel. Volume 4, Welcome to the Burbs, all being published on the same day. I love when companies do that, and that is Andrews McMeal that is publishing that. And Clive Barker's Dark World hardcover coming out by Saruno Knows Publishing. And that is Pinhead right there. I wonder what this collects. This is written and drawn by Phil and Sarah Stokes. I'm curious about that collection. That one is $50. It is in hardcover format, though. And Krumrin Chronicles Volume 2, published by Oni Press, coming out that very same week. And Dead Beats Omnibus Volume 5 by Comics Mix. And this is a series by Richard Howe and Ricardo Villagran. And collects Dead Beats issues 51 through 62 of that indie title. And Fire Team Hardcore Volume 1. Hell yes, we're hardcore. And Frizzy. And that one is published by First Second Books. It's also coming out in softcover format as well as hardcover format. I think that cover is completely adorable. Love it. Genevieve Castry, The Complete Works, 1981 to 2016. My goodness, drawn and quarterly published. That's a lot of work. It's a breathtaking collection of Castry's work and sold. Seminal memoir about her childhood. Well, okay, you know what? I'm just going to pick it up on the blind. I like that cover. It's interesting enough. I Survived Hurricane Katrina, 2005. This is volume 6. I didn't even know this was an ongoing graphic novel series by Lauren Tarshish and Alvin Epps. This is published by Graphics. It Took Luke, hardcover. This is published by Oni Press, $19.99. For some reason I got Ninja Scroll vibes from that. Krampus, A Yuletide Adventure trade paperback. And this is published by Oni Press. It looks like a kid's book, but if it's Krampus, I can't imagine it being a kid's book. Revenge of the Librarians hardcover format. I gotta tell my buddy Heather about that one. She's a librarian, and my buddy Lori's a librarian, so I don't even know what that is. Season of Bruja trade paperback volume 1 coming out that week, and that one is being published by Oni Press as well. Oni Press is just pumping out a lot of stuff in October. And to wrap up that week, also from Oni Press, we have Rick and Morty Corporate Assets. So it's interesting that Oni Press is releasing that, because I know, well, I guess Rick and Morty have more than one publisher. And the last week of the month from Marvel Comics, so October 25th, we have Deadpool Epic Collection Mission Improbable. And Collecting Wolverine 88, love that cover by Adam Kubert. X-Force 47 and 56, Deadpool 1 through 9, that's the ongoing series. The -1 issue, the Daredevil Deadpool Annual 97, and the material from Annual 95. At this moment, I just want to remind you all to smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. We put out videos every day. Share the video, please, that goes a long way. And it does help with our YouTube algorithm. So, let's keep going. Miracle Man Omnibus! All 3 covers are going to be available that day. So, collecting the classic Miracle Man series that forever changed comics. Extreme X-Men by Chris Claremont. You all don't know how hard this was not to put this in my top 10. That's how many great books are coming out in October. I don't have room for Chris Claremont. And I know it's not everybody's favorite Chris Claremont era. It doesn't matter. Still Chris Claremont. Uncanny X-Men 389 and X-Men 109. Extreme X-Men 1 through 24. Annual 2001. Extreme X-Men Savage Land 4-issue miniseries. The Expose 2-issue miniseries. And then material from X-Men Unlimited 36. Mapped to perfection. Ultimate X-Men Omnibus Volume 1. This is the one that I was talking about that I don't know if it'll be out this last week or not. I haven't gotten my review copy yet. So, I mean, it could come in this week. So, it's the only one that I think it might be pushed out, but we'll see. Ultimate X-Men 1 through 33, the half issue, and Ultimate War 1 through 4, the miniseries. And good for you all that pre-ordered it, because that pre-order made sure we got a Volume 2. So, make sure to pre-order Volume 2 when that's available. Fantastic Four by John Byrne, Omnibus Volume 1. This is the reprint of this particular series, so it is finally coming out. I do have a review copy. I've shared what both of the covers look like for Volume 1 and I believe Volume 2. Yeah. Strange Academy First Class hardcover. This one's the one that's really confused people because it's $75 for the first 6 issues in oversized format. So people were really confused about what this contains. I'll be doing an advanced look for of this one. I just got it in, so I already did an advanced view of Hellions by Zeb Wells. So excited that all 18 issues are collected in there. 512 pages, $75. One of the best, if not the best, Dawn of X era. Marvel Masterworks, The Incredible Hulk Volume 16, one that was supposed to come out last month, but it got pushed back until October. So this collects issues 245 to 255 and Marvel Treasury Edition number 25. This is stuff by Bill Mantlo and Sal Buscema. Herb Trampe also doing stuff in there. Star Wars, Dr. Aphra, Volume 4, Crimson Reign, collecting issues 16 through 20 of that series. And Bounty Hunters, Volume 4, Crimson Reign. This collects issues 18 through 22. So all of that taking place in the Crimson Reign era. Marvel's Voices Heritage. So this collects Champions Annual, Werewolf by Night 1, Phoenix Song Echo 1, Native American Heritage Month variants, and then material from United States of Captain America number 3 and Marvel Comics 1000. So celebrating Native American voices. Because they did the same thing with, I think, Asian American voices, African American, and then the Latino American voices. I think they did that one. I can't remember. I think there was a character in there. I'm like, they're Latino? Okay. Ghost Rider Volume 1, Unchained. But then again, you're looking at the guy that had no idea Kyle Rayner was Latino until, like, he got into the Jeff Johns era. Like, the whole time for years I've been reading Kyle Rayner, I had no idea he was Latino. I also didn't know that Invincible was Asian. Maybe these things just I don't notice and pay attention to. But anyway, Ghost Rider Volume 1, Unchained. So this is the new series, issues 1 through 5, written by Benjamin Percy, who's written Green Arrow, Wolverine, and X-Force. Corey Smith and Brent Peoples doing the artwork there. The Marvels, Volume 2, The Undiscovered Country, coming out. This is, I believe, the last issues. This is the issue 7 through 12 of Kurt Busiek's series. And covers are done by Alex Ross. And from the world of DC Comics, we have Harley Quinn, Volume 2, Keepsake. And this is a series by Stephanie Nicole Phillips and Riley Rosmo doing the artwork here. Justice League Incarnate, Joshua Williamson, Dennis Culver. I could have sworn that was Gary Frank on the cover. So this collects the 5-issue miniseries, and it looks like, is that Captain Carrot? Well, crap, that's Captain Carrot. All right. It looks like Darkseid is making his own Justice League by gathering these characters from across the multiverse, I assume. If I was pitching the book, that's how I would pitch it. The Joker Volume 1 by James Tynion and Gillen March. And that is coming out that very same week. As well as American Vampire. If you're not wanting to pick up the Omnis of Volume 2, this collects the 1976 series. From the world of manga, we have Attack on Titan Final Season Box Set Part 2. Now this, they don't even have the image of this one, so this one might be delayed, but hopefully it will be out. We also have The Black Paradox. This is a new series by Junji Ito, and this was being published by Viz Comics, who have been doing all the Junji Ito stuff. I wish they had all been released in that black hardcover format. Darling in Frank's Omnibus, Volume 1. So this is a newer printing of this book. This is published by Ghost Ship. And Ghost Ship is the adult version of Seven Seas. So thank you to my buddy Josh for telling me about that. The Solving Classroom hardcover finally coming out from Vertigo Comics. So Junji Ito's work is finally being published by Vertigo in hardcover format. Awesome to see that come out. This has been published before by, was it Viz or Kodansha in softcover format? I just love all his work and would love to have it all in hardcover format one day. And we're also getting the Samurai 2.0 trade paperback. Sky Gracer, this is published by Vertical Comics as well. I wonder if it's going to be in that format. That looks like landscape format. Wicked Trapper, Volume 2. So the reason I put this on here is because I was having a hard time not focusing. I'm focused. Also published by Ghost Ship. But I was trying to figure out what the hell is going on in this picture. Is her right foot gigantic? Because it looks like her left leg is also touching the same sword. Does she have like a giganto hand and foot? I don't know. Maybe you're not looking at the same thing I am. I was just trying to figure out what was going on in the picture. I swear. That's why I put it on here. It's the only reason. Yokai Cats, Volume 1. Published by Seven Seas Entertainment. From the Image Comics, we finally got the... Oh my gosh, I can't believe this is actually coming out. This is the Gideon Falls. And this is the Deluxe Edition Volume 2. And one that a lot of us have been waiting for. Like, feels like a long time since Volume 1 came out. But I want to say that was just at the beginning of the year. But anyway, Jeff Lemire, Andre Sorrentino, issue 17 through 27. So this is the finale. I believe this is the last volume. So $39.99. Philadelphia Volume 4 is coming out. I thought that this was going to come out in hardcover format, but I could have been dreaming that. I dream about the stupidest things, I swear. Rodney Barnes and Louis Nicht and Jason Shawn, issues 19 through 24 of that series, and Spawn Origins. I did reach out to Tom McFarlane's folks to see, not his parents, his PR, to see if I could get a schedule of the hardcover reprints. Haven't heard back, but hopefully that's only because everybody's getting ready for New York Comic Con, so they're not answering emails. I don't know. But this collects issues 135 to 140 of Spawn. From Dark Horse Comics, we have Sword of Hyperborea. This is Mike Mignola and Rob Williams and Lawrence Campbell doing the artwork and collecting issues 1 through 4. Frank Miller's Sin City, Volume 6 is coming out in Deluxe Edition, and it's coming out in the Standard Edition. Deluxe Edition, of course, being $100, but this collects Booze, Broads, and Bullets. The Witcher Library Edition Volume 2. There was a reprint of Volume 1 in case you missed it, but here's your chance to pick up Volume 2. Collecting The Witcher of Flesh and Flame 1 through 4, Fading Memories 1 through 4, Lament 1 through 4, and Free Comic Book Day 2021 short story Once Upon a Time in the Woods. The Art of Deathloop. This is published by Arcane Studios as well as Dark Horse, and collecting the artwork of Deathloop. And Bethesda's doing art in there too. Iyanu, Child of Wonder, Volume 2 by Roye Okupe and Godwin Akpan. I love that cover. Throw kids in there with superpowers, man. I'm usually a sucker for that. Maybe because I'm a dad, but even that didn't save Thor, Love and Thunder, man. That looked silly. Anyway, Steve Canyon, Volume 12, 1969 to 1970. It's a hardcover format published by IDW. And Rick and Morty. See what I mean? They also have another publisher. Rick and Morty versus Dungeons and Dragons: The Complete Adventures. Maybe it's because it's crossing over to Dungeons and Dragons. Not sure. From the world of Boom, we have Go-Go Power Rangers, Book 1 Deluxe Edition. And that should be the same dimensions as the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I'm surprised we don't have the Shattered or Necessary Evil Part 2 yet. And Power Rangers Universe, the hardcover edition. And this is written by Nicole Andelfinger, and Simone Ragazzoni is doing the art on that. The 2000 AD Regend trade paperback, Volume 4. So that's coming out that week, as well as Home to Stay, complete Ray Bradbury EC stories. Dude, you had me at EC, and you throw in Ray Bradbury, one of my favorite authors of all time. You have the artwork in here of Wally Wood, Al Williamson, Reed Candrell, Graham Ingalls, Johnny Craig. Oh, this is awesome. $75. My gosh. Okay, so this one's published by Fantagraphics. Sorry, I'm going on about that. That's a welcome surprise. Macanudo, Welcome to Elsewhere. That looks adorable, and that looks like it's going to be in this landscape format. Also published by Fantagraphics. Mickey Mouse, Monster of Sawtooth Mountain. These are the hardcover collections. I don't know if they're going to continue the Disney Masters box sets. I haven't seen one solicited in such a long time. I enjoy those, so I was hoping that they would. And Night Vegan hardcover. Is this a horror story about a vegan? It might be. Oh my gosh, it might be. Night of the Vegan. This is by Elijah Richardson. Prosperous Lake, New Mexico, population 398, isn't a place where Vinny the Shovel wanted to end up in witness protection. Working at the local hardware store isn't the height of excitement, even when the town is hosting the county's 100th agricultural fair. But when a tanker truck carrying disastrous secret experiment crashes near town, this town isn't just dead, it's about to get undead. Where's the vegan? Is Vinny the vegan, or is Vinny the shovel? I never really read these. I just look at the covers and look at the prices and look at the creator sometimes. So apologies for that. But then this video would take, oh my gosh, this video would be 3 times as long. Alone is being published by Cinebook. I love Cinebook, and I need to give them a shout. See if they got any more Valerian books or Lucky Luke books coming out. Area 510, not Area 51. We've upgraded to 510. Coming out from Oni Press. Jay Farber. Oh, I like Jay Farber. And Justin Greenwood. Man, Omnibus really is pumping out books. That's badass. Beethoven, A Stand for Freedom. So this is published by Humanoids, and it's Regis Panett is doing the artwork and the art, or also writing the book. And Cerebus Volume 14, Form and Void, Remastered Edition. So these are expensive. I had no idea they were reprinting all of these. This is by Aardvark Van Hem, and of course by Dave Sim. I stopped reading Cerebus about halfway through the... I think I made it all the way to issue 300, so... I don't know if people kept up with it, so I don't know if it bounced back and got better. Drawn and Quarterly is publishing Creepy, and that is coming out that same week. And Oni Press is coming out with Dancing on the Volcano. Wow. That's a lot of books they're coming out with. Good for them. Demon's Bloodlust is being published by Silver Sprocket. And Gin Hunter, Black Box Comics. I like that cover. Jay Sandlin and Fabrizio Consentino are putting together that particular book. And DPS Only. I could have sworn that was a manga, but apparently it's not. Also being published by Andrews McMeel. Eternal Warrior Classic Omnibus. Hardcover Volume 1. That Barry Windsor Smith piece of art there, that brought back a lot of memories. I mean, this is the classic Valiant stuff. So Jim Shooter, Barry Windsor Smith. Collecting Eternal Warrior 1 through 25. Yearbook 1, Archer and Armstrong 25. Harbinger 32, Secret Weapons 3, 6 through 10, and Valiant Era Companion number 1. This was the early 90s of Valiant. So, I mean, I hope this company strides and keeps publishing books like that. Gray is coming out in hardcover format, Volume 2, published by Clover Press. And we're also getting Johnny Hazard Dailies, Volume 9, The Joy of Quitting. Now, that title just immediately got my attention. So this is by Kaylor Roberts and published by Drawn and Quarterly. Jennifer Blood, Volume 1, Bloodlines from Dynamite is coming out. And Land of the Living Gods. What a title, man. Aftershock Comics is publishing that. And we're finally getting Lion and the Eagle. I think I recommended this one in my top 10 like 3 months ago. Lone Sloan box set is finally coming out that week. I think that one got pushed back a little bit, but it collects the 7 voyages of Lone Sloan, the Delirious, and Gale. And if you've not read or even checked that out, oh my gosh, it's nuts. Matt Cave is bringing out the Nottingham Volume 2. Nottingham's a lot of fun. It's an interesting take on the Red Robin Hood story arc. And I've had the creators on the show before, so hopefully that'll be collected in some kind of hardcover format. And NYX coming out in trade paperback, Volume 1 from Dynamite, Daddy's Girl, not to be confused with Marvel's NYX. Ocean Will Take Us. And, I'm sorry, this is The Ocean Will Take Us, and published by Aftershock. That looks like a kid's book, but every time I think of Aftershock, I think like it's going to be a horror story. One Beautiful Spring Day, the signed edition, it is limited edition, is coming out that day. It is a hardcover. Peanuts, Woodstock in a Birch Tree, published by Titan, and that is a softcover format. We're also getting the Precode Classic Strange Mystery softcover edition. Quaco, My Life in Slavery by Book Palace. So this is by Ineki Mok and Eric Muvell. $18.99, and it is a hardcover format. Ralph Azam, Volume 2, both in softcover and in hardcover format by Paper Cuts. Land of the Blue Demons. Savage Circus Volume 1 is coming out that week, and this is printed by Heavy Metal Magazine. That does have a heavy metal look to it. Shock Value trade paperback, printed, of course, by Aftershock, with a duck, with a gun, Cullen Bunn. That rhymes with gun. Man, I'm losing steam here. Frank Terry, I do like their work, and Mark Sable. Silver, Treasures and Thieves, coming out. That one is printed by Abrams Comics Art. And we're also getting the Smurfs Tales graphic novel, Volume 5, Golden Tree and Other Tales. The Smurfs 3-in-1, Volume 7. I think I need to start getting those. And I heard that Mad Cave ended up acquiring Paper Cuts. I'm not sure what exactly that entails. I don't know if they're going to change the name out. Sophie's World, Volume 1. Self-Made Hero is the publisher on that. Spirit Week hardcover. And that is by Little Brown for young readers. Both the hardcover and the softcover coming out that week. And Spotted Double Trouble hardcover by Ablaze Publishing. That is an interesting character design. Temujin is coming out that week. I love that cover, man. That cover is freaking awesome by Magnetic Press. And those books, I completely go in blind. I don't know what the heck they're going to be about. Unfamiliar is coming out in graphic novel format, and that is published by Andrews McMeel. And to wrap up that month, World After the Fall graphic novel, Volume 1, published by Ize Press. Now, if you live in America and are interested in any of these books and you want to pre-order them, check out our sponsor, cheapgraphicnovels.com, your online home for graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They have excellent shipping and prompt and helpful service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And don't forget that CGN also takes pre-orders. That way you don't miss out on the hottest releases. And they are currently running a special promotion for you Minties. If you're a first-time customer, after receiving your order confirmation email, reply back to that email and let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way. They will then apply a free shipping promotional credit to your next order in the US. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discount, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. And those were the books coming out in October of 2022. In the comments, let me know what you are going to be picking up, what you're most excited for. Again, my top 10 essential buys, must-reads, or books to check out in the month of October. It's going to be a freaking hard list to put together, but that comes out on Sunday. Don't forget to check out our channel tomorrow. Yeah, if you're on Patreon, that starts at 10 a.m. If you just come and join us here on YouTube at 11 a.m. Huge giveaway. So come back and join us. Smash that like button. And thank you to our existing patrons. Could not be making videos like this possible without you all. That's it. That's all I got. Everyone stay healthy and safe out there. Much love.